everybody! Welcome to another stream. We are doing our special D&D marathon still. I'm so excited to be here. My hair's a little floofy, but we're gonna roll with it, right? It's Halloween all year here at this house now. Turn the light down a little bit. How's everybody doing? Hi there, Chris Dreams, Sumato BR, good night. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's having a wonderful time today. I have a new setup today, so I'm still getting used to it quite a bit. Hopefully everything turns out good. So clean, so nice and clean out here. Let that autosave always at the worst time, right? So, if you have not been keeping up with these streams, here's the deal. We are doing a D&D art marathon. We started right at the beginning of the month of July, and we're gonna finish next Friday, so we still have 1 week left of marathon. Okay? In order to participate and get a whole cool amount of prizes, we have until the 20th. Submissions close on the 20th, and it's a sculpting challenge. I will go into the rules in a little bit. And also, if you want to keep up with the challenge and get the latest news, and also find out the rules a little bit more in detail, join the Discord. This challenge is sponsored by Frozen 3D, our wonderful provider of 3D printers. I am so excited to be here today. Happy to be with you guys. Excited to just be sculpting today. And also, I'm going to reveal to you all what the third sculpt is later today. Rin, hello. Recafe, hi. Elsrex, hi. How you doing? All right, let's talk about the challenge a little bit more in detail. So we got the challenge giveaway. So the first prize is a Frozen 3D Mighty or Mini 4K resin printer and 3 bottles of resin. Second place is a month of mentorships with me, and third place is a month of workshops with me, which includes all of my past workshops and the month's workshop of next month. To participate, you're going to sculpt or model 3 D&D minis, and you're going to stage them all together in a single shot as if they were being played on a D&D board or a map. And you're going to submit a render or video or whatever by the 20th of July. The first theme was the owlbear, the second theme is the Grick, the third theme is the Demogorgon, but not the Stranger Things Demogorgon. We are doing the D&D Demogorgon. We are doing the D&D style Demogorgon, guys. Hooray! Okay, if you would like to see the rules more in detail, we are go ahead and go to my Discord. Put my Discord. I've been having trouble with my bots lately, like they both work too much and not enough. But let's take a look at what Demogorgon looks like together. D&D Demogorgon. So I'm not going to start a Demogorgon today. I have to finish this one, and I get an extra day compared to you guys, which is why I'm announcing it 1 day early. Oh, I actually, because of my new monitor, everything's a little messed up. Give me a sec. One sec. We might not be able to do this today. We're gonna see. Yeah, we can't do that today. Just because I have a new monitor and it's super wide and it's not ready for this stuff, so sorry about that, guys. Well, it's the D&D style Demogorgon. Are we allowed to color change or make little tweaks to the monsters? Yeah, absolutely. I did a very different grid concept. I can't wait to see it. I like it when you guys are creative with it. It's better than having like all of these generic monsters, right? Let me go ahead and switch materials here, get my little colors on. So you guys are the first people to know the next theme. So being early is a reward. But I can't wait. Let me go ahead and get the 3D printing link in here. There's a frozen link from our sponsor right there in the chat in case you want to explore their products and 3D printers. But what we're going to do today is we're going to finish up this brick so that I can 3D print it like I did with the little owl bear, which I'm still so excited about. And I've prepared a huge one, guys, but I haven't been able to 3D print it yet because it's gonna take 27 hours and I use my office too much and I don't like being in the room when the printer's going. So I have to choose a day when I'm not going to work the next day, which is almost impossible. Wicked Serpent 4, thank you so much for the follow. First follow of the day, everybody. How exciting. So, let's get on with it. Today I wanted to do some cool detailing, like make it more organic. Like if we actually look at it up close, we'll see that a lot of this is just not very flat and undetailed. The beak could be better. We could add some bumps and lumps to the skin, you know, something more fun, I think. So let's do that together today. It's gonna be pretty chill, I think. I think we're not even gonna need the whole 3 hours. I'm going to stream for 3 hours today. Anoichi, I can't wait. Will you paint it? So I don't know, like the thing about me, Ria, is that I'm very, very terrible at painting. Like, I don't want to say I'm terrible at it, because like I think that if I applied myself, I could be okay, you know? But the thing is, Control Undo, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. The thing is that, how'd I put it? I don't have the utensils, the supplies, and the skills right now for that. Do you guys think I should try it anyway? Let me know in chat if I should try it anyway. I'm gonna add one last layer for the stuff. Got a new playlist today. It's just as generic as the others, but it's different. Yes, try. Everybody wants to see me try. Should I turn it into like a TikTok video or something? I'm gonna load up some brushes I had made myself and try them out. I don't remember where I put them though. It's from my mentorship. I think that if you're just good at sculpting, it'll translate well enough. Yeah, you believe in me, I appreciate that very much, but like I would love to, like if I had friends in the city, I would like do a party and like we would paint D&D minis and stuff. But I just don't right now. So maybe I'll just hang out with you guys and which is basically the same as having friends in this town anyway. And we can do it together. How does that sound? Just adding some bumps and lumps just to start with. Pretty subtle, but it's already going to help us kind of create a little bit. Is this Blender? It is not. This is ZBrush right here. It is also 3D modeling, of course. ZBrush is more focused on sculpture and organics, more so than anything else. And yeah, definitely not Blender. Just adding some dots. What do you guys think? It's pretty subtle, right? I think this is a additive process, if nothing else. Maybe if I do like spray, and let's see what that looks like. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's too much, right? Or is it not enough? One or the other. Good thing for layers. Off screen. I never know which way to put my camera. It's always... Oh. My cheese nacho, thank you so much for the sub and for this big scare. So let's try to think of a deep topic to chat about today. You know how I like those big old topics. Ah! While I blob all over this thing. Oh, you like my art? Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh gosh, where's my special alpha? I guess it's not here. I have to like reset the brush then. This one isn't quite as flashy as the owl, but I think it's cute. Like, it's gonna get there. Let's talk about money as an artist. How does that topic sound for today? Or is it too heavy for a Friday? Let me know what you think. Because I've been thinking a lot about this. Because I feel like now, like, you know, I'm more experienced, much older, you know, and I have a much more open mind when it comes to money as an artist than I did when I was, you know, out of college, you know, or younger. I used to think that I had like chosen the career that was going to basically keep me poor forever. And that was just my belief because it's like so perpetuated, you know, like look everywhere. Everybody will tell you like, oh my god, you're an artist, like you must be poor, you probably don't eat, where do you sleep, live in a trailer, you know, that kind of thing. But like that's not necessarily the case. How much did it take you to become a good 3D artist? Well, that is a very difficult question for me to answer because good is so relative, and like some days I don't even think I'm good. Just like anybody, like some days are hard and I'm getting insecure. You know, but my hair, like my hair is like the main character of this scene, and it's decided it looks like cotton candy. And Leah Ziolia, thank you so much for the follow. I'm pretty sure I ruined your name, so feel free to correct me in chat if you'd like. So I started working about 6 months after I started learning 3D art. I started, but by working I mean very, very low-paying jobs, beginner jobs, things like that. Kind of thing you'd probably expect from 6 months in. I don't know if that's the case anymore. But yeah, like I started working about 6 months in. Started becoming more confident in my art. 5 years in. Just goes to show that like your inner idea of what a good artist is doesn't always match the outer, right? And detail this. This thing's gonna take for ages. See, I can't believe I took off the nano mesh so early. It's my mistake. Maybe a little trim dynamic actually could be pretty fun on this one. I also like using trim smooth borders. You gotta get that from the Lightbox. Brush, trim, smooth borders. Something like this, just like give it like harder edges. Could be cool. Let's see. I'm still not sure. But it's just gonna like generally mess it up a little, make it more organic. How good should I be to work in Pixar someday? Well, that's actually a much easier answer for me because you need to be as good as people that work at Pixar. Now, it's up to you to find out how good that is because I don't know. I don't have a number. Like, it's not like we can measure art in like, you gotta be 80, out of 90. Like, that's not a real thing. So you gotta go out and you gotta find portfolios of people that work at Pixar and see how good they are and think about how you compare and go from there. It can also help you decide what to focus on, what kind of projects you need to have. I have all my mentees do this, all of them, even the ones that don't want to. Wow, you are so pro. Thank you. I would say so too. I mean, like, not because I'm good, just because, like, pro isn't actually a standard of quality, more so than whether or not you do it professionally. That's what it stands for. So, like, yeah, I do it professionally, so therefore I'm pro, although I don't know if that means anything particularly good. You guys tell today was the last day of classes at the college. Can you guys tell I'm in a weird mood? But not in a bad way. I'm feeling fine. I don't know if I like this, guys. When people ask what I do, I just say design. It's easier to explain than 3D artist. I say 3D artist, but everybody just says I draw anyway. So they're like, oh, Carol, she draws for a living. Pixar is selective because they have every person in the art industry would be at least open to working at Pixar, so they get to be selective. Reach out to current artists in the job you want and ask them how to improve. I think that helps build a relationship too. Absolutely great advice. I should have a college degree to work on big com. I'm guessing a big company. If that's the case, you don't need a degree to work in most art jobs. However, there are some benefits to having a degree, especially if you are going to get a visa someday. When you're not from the country you want to work at, having a college degree is very, very beneficial. David Arena, I have already announced the third one, and I will announce it again in a little bit. I heard Pixar uses their own 3D softwares. They don't use 3D Max or Maya, correct? I don't know. I don't think so. I know that they use ZBrush, I think. I want to try some new stuff with this stuff. Like, I'm gonna make you guys sit through this. Let's add some layers. I should have already added layers, and also I'm gonna store a morph target. And I want to like just blast this thing with like some like crazy like crazy texture and things like that. Like maybe like standard brush, spray, like dots and stuff, like this. Like I just want to try some new stuff. Oh, ooh, I'm gonna crash the computer here while I'm at it. So I'm gonna try doing something like this. And then like using my morph target. Just humor me. I haven't tried this before. And then like drag something like this in, and then like restoring some areas. Maybe not drag race isn't the right guy. I don't know. It didn't turn out as good as my imagination had it. I had thought of it. I was hoping to get like some like nice clean lines. Moshi Moshi, I'm good. How are you? You have a portfolio. Are you talking to me? Yeah, so yes, I do have an ArtStation portfolio. I can post it here in chat. But I'm good, Moshi Moshi. Thank you. How do the portfolio reviews work? So, whenever I schedule a portfolio review, right now we don't have an active one. But whenever there is an active portfolio review, you send in your work via Discord, you come to the stream and watch it, and I will critique your portfolio for you. It's pretty in-depth, actually. It's pretty tough. We spend a good amount of time on each person. Things like that. Like, we try to be very very detailed with our portfolio reviews. I often have a friend, Spacey3D, join me. Hey Felipe, tudo bem? Okay, Pixar is hard and go for DreamWorks. Oh no, you made this is so good. Oh, I'm glad you like that. It was a fun one to make. I had a good time. I did that one during the beta testing that I did some time ago. I don't know. I'm just trying a few things right now, and let's see where we end up with. But seriously though, like, don't give up on chasing your dreams to be a Pixar or whatever just because it's hard though. Like, really don't. It's not worth it. Stay on that path, because even if you fail, you'll still end up at a different company that does similar things, you know? And who says failure, like, failure sometimes is just not yet, so to speak, you know? You can just, maybe you're not ready yet for Pixar. Okay, go work somewhere else. You'll eventually become ready. Pixar's not everybody's first job, you know? So keep pushing, but be smart with your decisions. But you want to work at Pixar? Okay. Well, you need to know what the heck's going on with Pixar. You can't show up. Okay, like, I'm not calling you out. Okay, because there's nothing wrong with asking me questions, but you can't show up and rely on streamers and other people to tell you everything. You need to be able to go after it and learn and research on your own. The bare minimum you need to know is what software they use, right? But I also recommend knowing who works there. What are their names? What do their portfolios look like? What did their portfolios look like when they started working there? You know? Because they're probably better now than they were before. You know, what skills do you need to have in your resume in order to match those people that already work at Pixar? All of these are important questions that will bring you closer to your goals, because here's the thing. You can work really freaking hard. But if you're working really freaking hard on the wrong thing, then you're not making real progress towards your goal. Don't work hard on the wrong thing. Okay? And it sounds so obvious when I say it, doesn't it? But you'd be so surprised at how often people come to me in my mentorship and things like that, and then are just doing the wrong thing all over and over and over and over, right? Um, so, you know, not all hard work pays off. You have to work smart as well as hard. So be smart about it. Be careful out there, and don't give up because it's hard. Because um, just like Jim Carrey says, I always like quoting Jim Carrey because he says some weirdly profound stuff that you wouldn't necessarily expect from him. But he says this story about his father, and he says that his father wanted to be a musician really badly, but he had a family to feed, so he decided to go for the sensible, easy, stable career choice, an accountant. Okay? So he didn't chase his dream. Well, Jim Carrey remembers it like it was yesterday, when his father was around 50 something years old. Mavisk, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. When his father was like 50 something years old, he got laid off from his accounting job and left practically destitute. And that created quite an impression on him, because he had done that accounting job in order to be sensible and supportive to his family and do the right thing and the easy thing. And he gave up on his dream of being a musician, and he still got laid off at the end of the day. And Jim Carrey's takeaway from that was that you can fail at the thing that you don't even want to do, right? So why not try to do the thing you do want to do? You can fail either way, you know? That one stuck with me. you know, um it's so true, and I see people giving up on their dreams all the time, especially in this part of the industry, because I deal a lot with beginners. I deal a lot with people who are just in the beginning stages of their career, right? And that's just one of the times where your career is most in danger to you giving up on it. But if it means something to you, if you'd rather be doing something like this or working at Pixar than whatever you're already doing, then try it, right? And if you don't get it right away, like, that doesn't actually mean that you're not good enough. It just means kind of like you need to keep practicing. That's it. And like, it's really hard not to infer anything else out of this. Like, I have so many mentees that go, "Oh no, like, I get it, you are all about believing in yourself and blah blah blah, but I've already applied for this company like many times, and it's not meant to be like, or I've applied one time." Most of them have applied one time and never heard back or got rejected, right? And now they don't believe in their dream anymore, you know? They don't believe in their dream anymore, and they're like, "It's not good enough, blah blah blah." And I'm like, okay, maybe you weren't when you applied, but there's so many other opportunities, And not to mention, not everybody, again, like I said, like, not everybody makes their career at first at Pixar or Blizzard or whatever. Can I ask how to duplicate mesh in the line like you did with the scale? So I showed it in my last stream, I think. But it was like nano mesh. It's way too complicated for me to explain right now. I go after it. 90% of people said forget Pixar and live in reality. Yeah. Shoot for the moon and land on the stars. Yeah. I gave up on DreamWorks, so you just inspired me. Feeling very called out. I can't believe it, you guys. So, like, just be patient too, because like it's too easy to like take one L and then assume that you're just not cut out for this, right? Like, the people that currently work at Pixar, what would you say is the likelihood that they also get rejected by Pixar at some point? What do you think? It's very likely to me, because people apply and get rejected all the time. Even super pros, like people that you wouldn't expect to get rejected. Xenia Morpheus, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So, yeah, I guess that's like the only real difference between the people who make it and the ones that don't is like that they keep trying, isn't it? When you really think about it. Try some blob brush. I'm still just kind of doing some test runs on these things here. Love me some blobby brushes here. I do like the blob brush on there. Hey Cormac, how you doing? On Pixar, they care a lot about a lot of things, like how you can work with the team and your social skills. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Pixar is not the only one who cares about that. We had a whole conversation with a guy who came by like a few weeks ago, and he was like, I almost got a job, and my art is really good, and they turned me down because of like culture fit and like personality, and I wish my art could just talk for me. And I'm like, well, I mean, when they send you emails, it isn't your art that responds, right? Like, it's really tough to work with somebody who doesn't treat you well or have social skills and stuff like that. So it's essential. I guess it would be project specific, workflow specific, or something like that. What are you talking about specifically? I think I went too far with the blobs. Social skills for life. Nobody likes people who are difficult to work with. Now that is a fact of life, I think. No matter how talented you are. If you are super talented and you don't treat people well and you can't communicate, then you'll just end up not being able to work in the studio. There's still a chance for these people. Like, you can just work independently. It'll be fine. Gonna grab that little brush I had put in. I'm just fearing Pixar would be a work crunch culture. Yeah, probably. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know anything specific about Pixar, but that kind of culture is very prevalent in this type of industry. I personally really don't like it. I work in IT, and the number of people that don't know how to talk to someone else is astounding. Yeah. IT can't be fun for that stuff. I know that every time I talk to IT, I'm in a terrible situation. But I'm sure that doesn't help. Never put in a ticket with IT in a non-life or death scenario. But even then, like, you can still say thank you or hope you're having a good day. Thanks for helping out, you know? Is this the same song over and over again? Pretzel Rock's acting up today. I feel like we've just heard the song. We haven't been playing the same stuff over and over again. Back to my usual playlist, where nothing can hurt us. It sounds like an introvert magnet. I'm an introvert. So what you trying to say? Opening up a few brushes here. I think of this kind of texture for the underbelly. How much do companies care about what programs you use in your portfolio? I would say it probably changes on a per company basis. I imagine some care more than others, but I do know that it's very common, like, to say that you would much prefer to hire somebody who makes good art and train them in the software than somebody who knows the software you use and doesn't know how to make good art, right? As long as the person's willing to learn and learn fast at that, like, I'm pretty sure they don't mind at all. Well, not at all. I imagine that if there were two portfolios that were the exact same in quality, and one person knew the software and one didn't, the person who knew the software will probably get the upper hand, but still. I don't know if I like this. You just got to remember that the people you're working with will have or had the same feelings as you. I'm in game dev working on a VR sim and was the first artist on the job, and this is my first job too. And then we hired 2 more artists who are in the same boat as me, and it's not nearly as scary as I feel it is at the start. In the past, when I go to work in the morning, I've already been up a couple hours. My coworkers just seem tired until at least 9:30. What does that mean? Not everybody's a morning person, Sean. Just trying out a couple textures. And go back and forth between liking this and hating it. What do you think? You think it's a good thing learning modeling, rigging, and animation to work like a generalist? I'll doesn't hurt. If that's what you want to be, then it's a good idea. I have a whole PowerPoint presentation on generalist versus specialization. I'm a generalist. I guess as much of a generalist as you can be in my shoes. And yeah, I've found a great career in generalism because it's very stable, you can easily adapt, bounce around, you know. But here's the thing, whether you choose generalism or specialist will impact a lot of things for you. So you got to make sure that you do the research and you decide what's most important to you. I do recommend doing every decision, doing research, and also trying to weigh the pros and cons and your priorities. If you can get your priorities straight, you know exactly what's the most important things to you, like, you'll be able to make these sort of decisions so much easier. So for example, a generalist can adapt better, but also it's so much harder to be good at all the different subjects that you're practicing, right? As opposed to like a specialist who does the same thing day in, day out, focusing on the same thing, will get so much better than you normally, as a rule of thumb, on average, than the generalist will, because the generalist is focusing on a million different things, right? A specialist tends to make more high-tier work, depending on the kind of company you want to work at. A generalist is better for smaller studios, because you have to wear multiple hats. A specialist tends to be better for bigger, high-budget studios, which is like, for example, Pixar, because there they have a ton of money, they can hire all sorts of people, people of all skill sets, and give them very specialized jobs. Depending on what you want to do, you can choose one or the other. Hola Zephyr, how you doing today? You know, Morpheus says, it's good to have some knowledge in most areas around you, especially those that would work with what you create or vice versa, but mainly focus on one or two areas when it comes to your own skills. It depends on what you want to do. But in general, yeah, I would agree that I would agree with the point that it's good to know about those things around you so that you can work better in your own specialization if you choose specialized. What are your hobbies when you're not behind the PC? I'm gonna be honest with you, I was literally venting last week because I'm at a weird spot where I have no real hobbies and I'm a workaholic and I'm struggling with that. And so every time, whenever I'm trying to take time off, because I'm trying to avoid burnouts, I just take a nap. So I'm trying to find hobbies. I'm taking suggestions. You guys have any suggestions for me? That's the first layer of like slug skin in. Or like a thicker layer. I like slug skin. Shane, I just don't want to overengage usually. It's been difficult establishing what the boundaries are between coworkers, never knowing who's in bad mood or not. I like to have fun at work. I occupy myself and come off as antisocial. I do come off as antisocial. At work, it's one of my many curses. People complain. Especially this past maybe 4 years or so. I'm just so shy, you know. It takes me years to become friends with somebody, and it comes across as like antisocial, and it is. But it's not like that I'm better than anybody else. It's more that I'm just shy, you know. Your hobby is bungee jumping. You know, Arceus' hobby is games and reading. Oh, so you guys are suggesting this stuff. You take suggestions about hobbies. I think you enjoy mid-year pledging a lot. You guys wanting to see me paint some minis, huh? Tisk tisk. What do we do about this? I'm not antisocial, but I'm also not social. I definitely would describe myself as antisocial. In most cases. I have to feel very comfortable to open up, you know? You never watch TV shows? I do. Yeah, I do. When I'm working during dinner, like, I totally do that thing you're not supposed to do and, like, watch TV while I'm eating dinner. I just... I want to use this alpha that I had created, but it's too weak. I think I need to do something with this alpha here. Like, it's not bright enough. The alpha panel. There's got to be something in here that lets me modify this. Oh, strength. I don't know what these things do necessarily. Oh, contrast is probably a good thing. Yeah, nice, nice. Better. What's my favorite vacation destination? So I'm always doing Brazil, and I really enjoy going home to Brazil. So that is my favorite vacation destination. I'm going next week. Do you ever watch nature shows for inspiration? Yeah, all the time. I watch documentaries, like nature documentaries and stuff like that. I've been watching an undersea exploration YouTube channel with some wild-looking creatures on the ocean floor. Oh, I think I've seen some like TikToks with like people in like that submarine, and they're just yelling about jellyfish and stuff all the time. Even for Animake's partner. You know, for like a year there, I used to have the numbers for partner, but I didn't stream enough. Now I'm not sure I have the numbers anymore, or but I figured since I'm doing this like extra long stream marathon, I'll try again. You guys think about like dots and something like that. You should try wildlife photography as a hobby? Well, I'm definitely in the right place for that here in Florida. Definitely not. Since what age have you felt you love art so much? As long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. Like, my sister used to ask for, like, dolls and for, like, gifts. And I used to ask for art supplies, like, as far as I can possibly remember. Fingers crossed. Thank you, Suslord. Oh shoot, that erased history. Shit. That is not good news. We're gonna have to hide the layer. It's okay. It's okay. We can fix this. Alligators and birds love to get photographed over there. Is my audio crackly? Let me know. A bunch of stuff changed with my computer recently, so it could totally be. How long should I study to be able to develop 3D arts at a basic level? That is an impossible question to answer for the simple reason that I don't know you, your habits, and your lifestyle. How much you already know, or anything like that. I don't know. I could tell you 6 months, but 6 months of what, right? 6 months of, I don't know, like intensive work, or 6 months of 1 hour a day. You know, it's just so hard to be able to try to guess that for somebody you don't know. I can tell you what is possible. Like, I did it in 6 months I was working, right? But the thing is that I was already pretty good at computers. I already did a lot of arts beforehand, all different kinds of arts, things like that, you know? So I don't know where you are, and it's really hard for me to say. How do you stay motivated? I find that hard. Well, good question. So that's because I think the chase for motivation is kind of a flawed chase to start with. Like, motivation is just a feeling, and you can't expect to force yourself to have a feeling if you don't have it, you know? If it's not authentic, it's really hard to force a feeling, just in general. So what I would say instead is don't create motivation, create discipline. The dreaded word. Discipline. Motivation is very useful, but, you know, not reliable. But still, I consider motivation to be a part of discipline, and the way I've written an article about this. The thing I recommend is figuring out your big picture, why, your big purpose, your most deep, dark ambition in life. Just really, like, really take the moments to think about it, and really be honest with yourself. And the reason I always say, like, be honest with yourself is simple. It's because a lot of people get embarrassed or ashamed of their deep ambitions, because it's not pure, it's not nice, you know, it's not always like that. Slowloom, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. You know, so I really don't like this layer that I've just added. Like, let's see it without the layer. I think I went too far. Maybe I can turn it down. Donley O, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. So think about that big picture and, like, take it one step further and write it down. Like for real, like, this is straight out of my article that I wrote, you know? The only DZ, thank you so much for the follow. Write it down. I have a note, a big bulletin board. Can you hear that? Right to my right that has all my goals on it. And I look at it and just let that feed you. Like, really think about those goals. And whenever you're feeling unmotivated and, like, you don't want to do the thing, just try like telling yourself, just try reminding yourself of why you do this in the first place. Why do I do this in the first place? You guys think it's easy to do what I do? Like it's not, right? Um, and I am not some sort of powerful being that is just magically really really productive, you know. I've always had two careers at the same time, studying, teaching, learning new things, normally on the fly. Trying my best to be able to keep up the character artist, even though I wasn't a character artist. Um, Streaming, posting on social media, trying to build a network, like trying to do all these things. Like that wasn't easy. Um, right? Especially at the time, there was a time that I worked full time at a company as a tech artist, went to college, and I did streams 3 times a week, and I posted on Instagram every other day. And I was still a really bad tech artist, so I was learning a lot, right? And the thing that kept me going was that big picture. You know, it was like, I'm so tired and I don't want to do this today. But if I do, here's how much I have to gain, right? I want that job, whatever it might be. I want that lifestyle. I want to be friends with these certain people that are great artists, like whatever it is that you want. You know, and that would like get me out of bed, proverbially speaking. You know? However, there are other people out there that, and this was also me at the time, there are other people out there that are more motivated by negative things. And I don't mean negative things as in like sad, you know, things. More than motivated as in like, hey, you know, while you are being lazy and not working, your competition, the other people who want to work for Pixar or whatever, are out there and they are working, you know. Psycho Gabe, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. And some people respond to that, you know. So if you're one of those people that responds to that, then use it, you know. It's not the most pleasant thought in the world, but yeah, if it works, go for it. Then of course there's like a whole other slew of things I can say about building discipline, but I think that looks different for everybody else, for each person, you know. It's not easy. If it was easy to be like having fun times, would it be what it's called? You know? Some people need routine. Some people need what's the opposite of a routine? Then that's a really thoughtful answer. I appreciate you responding. Do you have a link to your article you read about it? So my article is on my Patreon, or not my Patreon, my Gumroad. Here. Oh, ironically, the Gumroad link is right there in chat right now. It's under both it's under the 3D Sculpting Academy. You could use, oh, I already read that. You spend most of your time working on art. Has that reduced how much do you do other things like watching shows or play games? Let's see. I work better with chaos. Like real fast, like little tangent. I know you guys are saying like the opposite of routine is chaos. Like I work better with chaos. I looked inside myself, I found out what my patterns were, and I went for it. And my routine is chaotic. It is. It's not the same 2 days in a row. It's not the same 2 days in a month. Like I do totally different days every day. I wake up at different times every day. I go to sleep at different times every day. I eat at different times every day. I do different tasks every day. My to-do list has 70 items in it. Okay. The reason for that being that some days I'm just not ready to work on a type of project, so I can have 69 other projects to pick from. You know? That's just how it is. For me. It works for me perfectly. I've been so I started this last year. I started embracing that, and it's so much better than like trying to follow those like coach gurus that are like, wake up at 5 every day, make your bed, do this, take a cold shower. All CEOs wake up at 4, you know? Like, after I started embracing my own patterns and flows and, like, whatever my own nature was supposed to be, that's when things started going well, really well. So anyway, do you spend most of your time working on art? Has that reduced? How much do you do other things like watching shows or playing games? So I don't spend most of my time working on art, but I do spend most of my time working. There's a lot to working that I do that isn't art. So as you know, like, I'm a teacher, I have my own company, I run my own business, I influence, I make videos, like all this stuff. So that is a lot of work that isn't art. Does that make sense? Like, I also think every artist should do a little, like, be kind of a business owner, think a little bit like an entrepreneur, but that's a whole other conversation. So I do stuff like business management, housekeeping, as in like housekeeping my business, creating content, planning things, writing down classes and things like that. And let's say I would say I spend like 3 hours a day on doing fun stuff. I'll spend like an hour of that on TikTok at night, like right before bed. I'm not ashamed. I'm not too ashamed to admit that. But I do spend a lot of the other time working. It's almost too much. Like, I do think I overdo it, especially lately. So I'm going on vacation next week, and I'm still gonna work when I'm there, but at least I'll be on vacation. And yeah, it's the first time anybody's asked me that question. I tend to procrastinate and to get everything done at once. When I have too much time, I can't focus. I also procrastinate. Of course I do. I was reading this book that was been really good. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek, and he said something that really stood out to me, which was something along the lines of, if you give yourself too long to do a task, the task expands to last that time. So if you say, I'm going to make a sculpt in 1 day, you'll make it in 1 day. If you say, I'll make it in 5 days, you'll make it in 5 days, but odds are it's not 5 times better. It's like a whole thing. Chuckies. Ana, você é incrível pela mexida de trabalhar. Obrigada, Chuckies. DZ, what are you motivated by to teach, run a business, work on art, everything? Is it monetary gain or other things? Great question. I'm like my mentees, I'm a little afraid to talk about that. Joe 189, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I'm a little bit, I don't necessarily like talking like that because a lot of my ambitions are very selfish. And so, like, there's the part of me that's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that because it's selfish. Like, sure, monetary gain is a huge part. I'm working right now on saving a lot of money. I want to buy a house, right? In fact, I was ready to buy a house right before the market went absolutely insane, and then I decided not to because I didn't want to waste money buying a house like that was like $200,000 more than it was 2 years ago, I'm just pulling up this little guy so that I can screenshot him up here. I miss him. Therefore, he will be screenshotted. So that's a big one. That's partially why I started my mentorship. I was like, people have been asking to do mentorships with me. I could use a little extra money. I'll do the mentorship for 4 to 6 months and then stop, and all that money goes into a down payment for a house, right? I ended up liking it, and I still do the mentorship, and I have more mentees than ever, and I overwork too much. What else am I motivated by? I even have to stop working for a second to answer this question, don't I? What else am I motivated by? So I like stability. I like having a comfortable career. So I'm always working really hard so that I never have to work hard again. Does that make sense? Opportunities come easy. Um, because I work hard all the freaking time, and people are like, "Oh my God, Anna, you have it so easy." And I'm like, "Yeah, you didn't see me working the whole fucking time that led to here." Yeah. Um, let's see, and a few other things. Like there are certain things I want to do in the industry that I haven't gotten to do yet that I would like to do. So I'm trying to do those things. Like for example, I want to host a show. I'm getting real with you guys. I don't know if I've talked about this on stream too much, but like I want to host a show um, about 3D art or like competition show about game design, game development, the stuff I'm good at, VR even, you know. It doesn't have to be a TV show. It could just be something like on YouTube or yeah. I've done a short one before, but I can do better, you know. I want to be like that. Like I want to host. So I'm working on that as well. I've been trying to learn how to talk more clearly. I still have a lot of progress to make. Teaching has helped a lot. Um, trying to do a ton of things, you know? So we'll see if I get to live that dream. Sauce Lord. I was shocked yesterday. I mentioned someone I'm focusing on commercial ad storyboard art. It's more of a generic type of art, involves a lot of photo bashing and semi-tracing. This artist asked me why do I do art if I want to make money with it. I was offended and shocked, to be honest. Well, it's a very loser mentality. It sounds harsh when I say it, right? Loser mentality to think that you have to do art because you love it and you don't want to make money. Like, no, I want to make money and I love it. Duh. Fucking that's just stupid. Like that triggers me. I'm triggered. Yeah, because I'm taking a more generic route, it wasn't good enough for monetization, I suppose. Like, she didn't approve of the meta of quality that commercial art asks for DZ. And, like, it doesn't matter. Their opinion doesn't matter. Nothing wrong with working hard because you want to make money. Half owl, half bear. Interesting. This is an owl bear. I'm selfish too. That's cool. Thanks for the thoughtful answer. No worries. These assets we are looking at, does ZBrush easily downgrade the polys to lower poly games? Well, it does easily do it, but yeah, there's like a whole other process, and normally doing it by hand is the best way to do it, you know? Oh, Bad Blood Studios, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome, raiders. Welcome, raiders. Hi. Hello. Welcome, raiders. I never know anymore if the raiders are here, if they're like watching an ad or something. Hey, Bad Blood Studios, how was your stream? What were you guys doing on that stream? Gladerio, hi. Don't worry about my bots. I haven't had the opportunity. I tried fixing them, but it didn't work. They're still triggering each other. And then like I have Restream bot that like repeats everything on YouTube, and then that repeats back into Twitch. Gotta fix that situation. But yeah, welcome, welcome. We were talking about motivations and dreams. It is like it's like, you know, it makes me legit mad that people would like criticize or try to dissuade people from their dreams because they don't agree with it. Like, how's that their business? Like, how's that your business to try to talk somebody out of their dream, right? Like, what do you benefit from that? There's things that like a lot of people do think that they benefit from that. Like, they just don't want to see you succeed. Glad Bud. While I was painting a 1/4 scale collectible statue, worked on skin tones. Nice. So we were talking about painting minis before, and everybody wants me to paint these minis. Let me show the raiders, the owl bear, how that turned out. Like it's really small. It needs to be improved. Um, But I am not good at painting at all. Not so good. At least not minis, you know. Um. Oh no, he split. Oh damn it! Another day, another mistake. Still have to get better at 3D printing as well. 0231, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Is it already time to judge the D&D sculptures? No, that's next Friday. The submissions are due on the 20th. You have amazing 3D sculpting skills, though. Looks amazing. Thank you. I can't believe he broke. Good. This is the saddest day ever. I wonder what I did wrong. Rip. Rip to this little guy. Rest in pieces, literally. That is so sad. Well, one of the sides still look great. The front still looks great. This side looks great. The back looks great, but then you turn it around. Pow. I have to Google what causes this problem. I'm still learning a lot when it comes to 3D printing. And as you guys can imagine, there's a lot of trial and error involved, right? So it must have been like pressure inside. You have amazing 3D sculpting skills though. Looks amazing. Thank you. Kyle says it's because they failed at their dreams and don't want to see others follow and achieve their dreams. Perfect. I'm actually one of the sculptures right now. Nice. Is that no, it's a split from the curing. I think I cured it too much. Like I had it in for 16 minutes in the UV curing. I've heard that if you leave it in too long, it could become brittle. I just need to learn a little bit more about 3D printing, to be honest. Just working on it, you know, trying my best. But I was still in love with the way it turned out, though. Like, it's so tiny and so cute, such a little baby, tiny baby. And then the Grick is next. I have a ton of 3D prints right there that look perfect. Just sometimes it takes more than one try. Let's just say that. This is a very chaotic song. I feel like I'm about to fight a boss in like Persona. The only DZ, you have so much going on. Do you thrive on being busy? I don't know. Like, some days yes, some days no. I suppose that is the chaotic person's way of saying saying that, but yeah, not always. I would say a hard maybe. Um, like, I don't know. I don't like being this busy. Like, I haven't been feeling good lately about that. Like, I've been feeling like I've been doing too much. The schedule I've created for myself is unrelenting, would be the best way to describe it, I think. Unrelenting. So it used to be that Tuesdays and Fridays were my day off, but then I started teaching at the college during summer. That's so I was teaching Tuesdays and Fridays, and then I was like, you know what would be cool if I also streamed. So now I have no days off. That's a mistake. Definitely don't do that. Like, I don't think you should do that. It's bad. It's bad for me. And it will be resolved very soon whenever I'm in Brazil hanging out with my family and chilling. Right? Like, um, so it's not gonna be permanent, but, can load up some alphas. Yeah, I am from Brazil. Is it true they put sugars in avocados there? Yeah. I think that's why I didn't like avocados growing up. About weirdly human chicken skin. That's so weird. This is too weird. Let me know in chat. I'm still trying a bunch of different things, like I might have to make new alphas for those. Steven Spruce Root, thank you. I hear Brazilians often shower more often and brush more often too. Whenever I lived in Brazil, I used to shower twice a day. I don't do that anymore. I only stopped because I lived for a while in Europe. And when I was in Europe, it was so heckin' cold, right? And nobody there showered twice a day for cold reasons. I'm not even sure they showered every day. So yeah, it is true. Not really a fan of the Greek design, but your version is looking neat. I'm with Zerotron, thank you. I'm glad you like it. And I'm more physical people compared to Americans anyway. Do all these finer details get baked into a displacement or real map? So not for this piece, because this piece is just going to be 3D printed, so it needs to maintain all of its details, but if it was for a game, I would put it into a normal map. You were talking about your schedule. I started with 3 set days, but now I wonder what the consequences would be if I just stream whenever I feel like it and not set a schedule. What are your thoughts on that? Personally, like, I have 4 years streaming experience, and I've always found that consistency really does pay off with streaming. And like, I just started streaming 3 days a week, but it's only for a few weeks as during my marathon, and then I'm going back to only Sundays. Because like, if people don't know you're gonna stream, then they probably won't show up when you do stream, because like, you know, it's not part of their routine. But at the same time, like, if you feel like that would work best for you, then like, do it, you know? Because like, at the end of the day, not about the numbers. Or at least it shouldn't be. What do you guys think about this chicken skin design? It's time to decide if I keep it or remove it. I don't know. I'm really struggling to texture this one because I have no idea what I want it to look like. At least this would hide any supports. Kristen Benson, welcome, thank you. Looks like sea cucumber now, I like it. I did go for like a sea slug like look for the piece. It's not a bad thing that it looks like a sea cucumber, but I'm not in love with it. I wish to be in love with it. Let's see it with color. Eurotron77, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I was here looking for my phone. Forgot that I put it over there in a tripod because I wanted to like do a time lapse of the stream. It is almost definitely dead right now. It's hanging from a tripod. Poor guy. What did you color this with? Does ZBrush color it? Yes, it does. It has this process called polypaints, which is basically like vertex painting. Maybe I should just remove the intensity of this. Maybe I should take a moment and find some better reference. I think that might be the case. Like what's necessary here. I've never used ZBrush, but I've used Cinema 4D and 3ds Max. Nice, I'm learning Cinema 4D. And by learning Cinema 4D, I mean I participated in a Maxon series in which they, we did together a super cool render. By the way, stay tuned. Like, if you don't yet, make sure to follow me on social media because the video's coming out for that, you know. And basically, we did a 4-week long training where the first week I went and I sculpted something, and then they took it and they put it in Cinema 4D. They gave it an environment, they lit it, rendered it out with like Redshift and After Effects. So cool. So I learned a lot during that, and then also I'm doing a tutorial. Spoiler alert, if you guys know what the School of Motion is, so I made a tutorial for the School of Motion and it's going to be released anytime this month. So stay tuned for that. Another thing that I'll be announcing on my social media when it's ready, and on Discord as well. Join the Discord here. It's an awesome community of amazing 3D artists who are friendly, helpful, supportive. You can show off your work, get feedback on it, give feedback on other people's works, share tips, tricks, tutorials, resources, participate in my giveaways and challenges, things like that. And just have a good time, network, get to know people in the industry. There's like 2,000 of us in there. It's poppin'. Anyway, so part of the tutorial I made with them includes Cinema 4D. So I've spent longer in Cinema 4D recording tutorials than I have actually using it right now. And that sums up everything in my life very well. I'm pretty good with Cinema 4D, but I'm rough with everything else. Cinema 4D is so powerful and there's so much stuff. I know you work out or do sports in general. I work out. I don't do sports. If you need zero software programs right now, what would you recommend to someone getting into video games to learn? Maya, ZBrush combo? Yeah. Well, for characters anyway. Maya, ZBrush. And Unreal. But in Unreal, you don't have to know everything about it. You just need to know enough. Afro Cigar, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome to the stream. And then really, like, you just need to know how, like, import, make materials, things like that. Simple materials. As someone that is pretty good in Cinema 4D, what should I learn next? Depends. What do you want to do next? What are your goals? I've been working for a marketing agency out of New York for the past 15 years as a 3D journalist and senior production artist / retoucher. So what do you want to do next, though? Anna, hi Anna, how many polys do you have on the body of that creature to do that texture on the skin? $32 million? So all my 3D has been grocery aisles and product shots to replace photography, but I've always been fascinated by the idea of working with games or video. I'm not sure, honestly. Well, that's probably the next thing to learn is like what you want to do next, because that helps. If you want to do characters, learn ZBrush. If you want to do games, learn Unreal or Unity, but honestly, I am Team Unreal. Yeah. If you want to, um, yeah, that would be what I would say. Maybe environments in Unreal. Yeah, Unreal 5, man. Like, it is so cool, and people from your side of the world of 3D have been loving it. And people from my side of 3D have been loving it too. 32 mil, okay, my computer can't handle that. But it's also kind of struggling to handle that right now. I need more plumbers. um, because I need more power. And I want to push it further. So like right now the history has been deleting itself to be able to maintain this and stream at the same time. Streaming really throws a wrench in things. So I'm gonna divide this up and I'm gonna create some sort of like disgusting, oozy, like um, physical meat pockets. This stream has really taken a turn, hasn't it? I don't even know how I want to do this, to be honest. I made a 3D graveyard with a spooky windmill in the 90s in 3D Studio Release 4 before Max even existed. Back then, people were still spline modeling organic things. What things should I do to animate my sculpted characters in animation software such as Maya? ZRemesh helps. ZRemesh helps, but I personally am on team manually remesh everything. I think it's important to know how to manually remesh because like then you can control exactly where all the expression lines go and things like that. So Belle, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, let's just say that this is not turning out the best. Feeling a little tired today. I'm not feeling very artiste. Mavilian, thank you so much for the follow as well. Okay, let's see what this gets us. That's great. Oh shoot, I had symmetry on. Bad. Better, but still not great. Let's see what that looks like when I apply it to like the cheeks. Not that bad. So after that, you would remesh it yourself, like retopologize, texture it, rig it, things like that. My experience is very generalized, but not focused on being the best at one attribute. That's basically what generalized means, if you ask me. That was my struggle for many years. Was like professionally, I'm a tech artist and very generalized. Um, and so I struggled very hard with the fact that everybody who was focusing on like being a character artist was becoming much better at me much faster. And everybody who was focusing on only being like a certain aspect of a tech artist was becoming much better than me much faster. And I struggled with that. That was one of my big pain points of the past 10 years. Well, not 10 years, many years. Was exactly that. The fact that I couldn't get better fast enough, you know, but one day that kind of went away because I became just good enough to squeak by on everything and nobody said anything. So this is not Blender Zerotron, this is ZBrush, and I do mix a ton of softwares. Depends, especially on what I'm trying to do and why, you know. Yeah, I mix software so bad. As a 3D artist, do you still sit back and look at a new project and feel dread and how much work it's going to take until you get the ball rolling? Depends on the project, but yeah. Depends on the project. Like today I had to record a video and I was like, oh my god, I so don't want to do that, you know. So yeah. Sometimes even after I get the ball rolling, I still dread it. But sometimes I don't dread it, you know, so it's... Sky Falcon, Ana, sobre o programa, como eu consigo colocar essa cabeça flutuante? Essa aqui. Ela veio depois de 2021 e eu acho que vai no Preferences. Cam View. I'm caught up with messages. Oh. What's the point in the alpha image in the corner? What do you mean the point? And what? Oh, you talking about this one? The left here? I think it's just supposed to show you the silhouette of what you're working on. Can you tell all the softwares you use? Yeah, sure. I use obviously ZBrush. So my two main softwares, the ones that I know the best, are ZBrush and Unreal. So I know them both very well, like 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Well, then the other softwares I use are, I used to use Modo for 3D modeling and unwrapping. Last year I switched to Maya. I'm in a really awkward spot where I both haven't been using Modo enough to remember everything that I used to know, and I haven't been using Maya enough to replace Modo, so I'm in an awkward position where I'm like, oh god. Anyway, so Maya and Modo. I've always used Maya for rigging and morph targets and things like that. Modo's still the best for unwrapping. I use Substance Painter to texture. Photoshop, of course. Premiere for editing my videos. I used to use Topogun for retopology, now I use Maya. Marvelous for clothes. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Just started learning Cinema 4D. Can you articulate what there is to learn about working in Unreal? I want to learn to make a product aisle and import it into Unreal so that you can look around inside it live. So, what is there to learn? So, basically, like, you know, you need to learn how to import, create a material. The textures can come from somewhere else, you know. But import, set up materials. Then you would have to learn how to set up a scene, like level design, but you already know that from Cinema 4D. Lighting and rendering. Like, it's so, the stuff you're looking to do is so easy. So easy. That's not the hard part of Unreal, you know? Like you're probably not gonna do like insane shaders, you know, like maybe glass, um, you know, for cloths maybe. Like I'd say maybe glass is the craziest, and you can just like look up a tutorial on how to do that and just follow like the step by step. You know, so it wouldn't be hard to do all that. I made this scene in Unreal. Let me show you guys. It's gonna play the stream start thing. This little baby. And this was on Unreal 5. It didn't take very long to make it. You know, now we got volumetric, like proper volumetric fog to make actual god rays, which is neat. I really enjoyed that. All I had to do for most of these is just set up the quick materials and just plop them right into the scene. The most technical thing I did for this scene was probably setting up the cameras and their animations, you know? And I guess the rotation of the windmill is extremely advanced. Little Froggy is also... The windmill thing was a joke, but the Froggy is advanced. But I also showed how to do that in a tutorial I made for NVIDIA, so you guys are interested, go check that out. Yeah. I'm making a few other things soon to put alongside this in the starting soon page. Yeah. Hola, Chris. Why are you learning Cinema 4D? I am learning Cinema 4D because, well, first of all, I do a lot of work for Maxon now, and I thought it would be a wonderful idea to learn how to use their main package. I'd probably say that Cinema 4D is probably their main package. Not to mention, it would level up my renders a lot, and the only negative feedback I ever get on my art on like social media is that my renders are trash, because I always just do like ZBrush to Photoshop and I just make it the most basic possible, you know? So like I could easily just import these into Cinema 4D into like a pre-lit scene, you know, use GoZ. Like you can't do GoZ to Unreal, but you can use GoZ to Cinema 4D and just like do a nice lighting and boom, you're done. You know, that sounds so nice. You'd be able to utilize Redshift or Octane or something, yeah. If I was to import an existing scene in Unreal, will I be able to walk around inside it like a video game? Yeah, I mean, if you set up the scene right, like if you start a new project and you set up like the defaults, third person, first person VR, yeah, you totally could do that. Quadflow, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it, welcome to the stream. You had set up the windmill and flames. No, yeah, I set those. Oh, I set up the windmill. The flames were just a package that I downloaded for free. Yeah. Plus, like I've always said this, even before I was a teacher. You know, learning software is a skill set that you can use again and again. And the more you learn software and the more you develop that skill set, the easier it is to learn new software. You could throw me into any software at all and say, learn this. And I would be like, all right. You know? And because I've grown really confident in learning softwares. Like you guys have to know something about my career, which is I've learned everything the hard way in the job, in the moment, you know. Things like that. So, like, I'm pretty comfortable being outside of my comfort zone and struggling through a problem. Like, that's my whole career. And I don't mind. I Google stuff. Everything turns out alright normally. So, you know, yeah. I'm scared to learn Cinema 4D either. I just want to try a few like weird little alphas for some areas. I feel like all 3D artists are learning on the fly since this changes almost daily. My company chose Sim 4D for me, that's why I learned it. I haven't taken advantage of its animation that much, mostly realistic product still images. Animation. Inflate balloon. Polish by groups. Feel that looks very bad. Let me try the extractor brush. I'm just gonna see what this will look like on the horn area. Hate it. Umo Pelo, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I think I like this pattern more than I like the other one that I added before. Just do layers. Always forgetting those layers. What do you guys think is the hardest software program to learn? So far. You're gonna 3D print the grid? These detailed textures will show up on the mini, so depends on how big I print it, of course. I don't think these textures will show up too much on the mini, but they will show up on the big ass print I plan on doing. Like I did the mini version of the owlbear, and the textures did show up. I also have a very good printer. But I always increase the contrast beforehand, but also I'm going to print it out like 8 inches tall for the real print that I plan on keeping with me. Make a mind player next to a beholder? No, I've already announced what the next one and final one is for the challenge. Oh yeah, the extractor brush is next level. Houdini is tough. The thing about Houdini is that, like, I don't think the software is tough. I think procedural generation is tough, you know? And it just so happens that you use Houdini for that. He stays busy bathing. Normally he even sleeps for most of the stream. I'm surprised he's been looking himself asleep. Must really be dirty. Solo this out. Can't try tag this thing. Hello, Ian. Okay, soloing is not a possibility right now. Oh, what was the other stuff I did? I had like added layer, or like the standard brush or something, then some sort of spraying all around. But first I had grabbed a morph target. Something like this, but don't worry, this is not how it's supposed to look permanently. I think I'm gonna try something different this time. I think I'm gonna do like a mask of some sort. Maybe like a mask drag rect with some sort of alpha on there. I'm just trying new things today. Like, not in a super artsy mood. I'm just in a chit chat slash let's get this thing, let's at least try some new things out mood. And coming in here with the morph brush, and then yeah, I gotta harden that mask, so I'm gonna go to masking. Sharpen that mask. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I wanted, I think. And more like that. That's more where I wanted. I have experience in miniature painting. If you send me some, I can give them back painted. Oh, that'd be cool. But I might not be able to, depending on how many I can get done, but sure, I'll try. Aw, you teach much better than the instructor we had at the course I took 2 months ago. Wish I knew you earlier. I wouldn't take that course at all. That makes me so happy to hear. I used to think I was a terrible teacher before I started teaching professionally. Thank you. Appreciate that. You work on a lot of projects you can't stream? Yeah, I do. Streaming projects are just the personal ones. By the way, guys, I do have my own. Let me pull up mine. I do have social media, so make sure to follow me on there to get up to date with my latest artwork, free content, announcements, collaborations, and things like that. I give away free stuff all the time as well. Join our Discord server, which is a wonderful community of 3D artists. We hang out offline. We share tips and tricks, tutorials, resources. There's thousands of us, and everybody there is personally vetted. Well, by vetted, I mean not banned, if they're bad. And we just have such a good time with each other and all these other things, so please feel free to join. Okay. Oh shoot. I'm getting. I just realized that my Instagram story never went through. That I was live. Very bad news. How long did the owlbear take? If you hired someone to make the owlbear, how would you quote it? Oh, real fast. One thing I forgot. I also have a mentorship program where you can work one on one with me and learn from me and have me guide you in your career, help you create a path forward, check your strengths, weaknesses, what you need to focus on, and things like that. However, it is sold out, so if you go into the Gumroad, you can find the mentorship and you can join the waiting list if you're interested in one day joining it once there's a spot. Or you can join the workshop, which is awesome as well. The workshop is the 3D Sculpting Academy. I teach a workshop for it's a proper teaching environment. It's an actual class online on Discord where every Wednesday I sit down with the class and I teach you sculpting best practices, how to get better. Every month is a different theme slash different challenge. This month we're doing creature design, so not only are we sculpting the creature, but we're also designing it, following a set of rules that I've created. And we are learning together. We do a party every month, that we hang out in. We get to network together and things like that. Um, so yeah, feel free to check that out. So if I was to quote somebody doing the Albert, I don't know. Like this is a really hard question because I don't normally do quotes for models. I'd say maybe like 2,000. I don't know. It's a guesstimation number. I would probably do the research before I did it. Guys, I will be right back, okay? I'm gonna go grab my phone charger so I can post on Instagram that I'm live. Here down my face. Really too bad. I'm really messed up. I'm trying to go for partner. I'm trying to get the good numbers that I was getting last month, and for 2 streams in a row now, I haven't been able to post on Instagram that I'm live, which is where most of the people that watch come from. Self-sabotage over here. Okay. We'll just have to have a really big stream next time. How long did Owlbear take? It took 3 streams. That is around 6 hours. 6 to 7 hours. I think I did stream a little longer a few times. So yeah, 6 to 7 hours. I'm gonna go for like more of a brownish color. I'm gonna do like a mask cavity. But also, I was like super excited to be working on the Albert the whole time. Now I'm just a little tired. So I'm definitely getting different results when I'm tired versus when I'm most excited. Yes, joining your mentorship or your other option is definitely a great idea. You're a great instructor. Oh, Chris, thank you. 6 hours per stream? No, 6 hours total. I used to stream for 2 hours, but now since I'm trying to go for partner, I'm just going to stream a little longer. So I'm doing 3 hours now this week. As if I wasn't tired enough, right? Renato, tudo bem? Bem-vindo. Como está hoje? Phone's on. Okay, let's post that I'm live. The masses. God, I'm disappointed in myself. I hate that it does this. Like, it just says uploading. Like, it pretends that it uploaded and then it just says uploading. Can't believe it. This is the worst. Rip to me. Oh, I just hit 32,000 followers though, so that's good news. New milestone unlocked. I used to think 20k was the maximum. Xavier, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Okay, now it's posted. Lord, have mercy. I started ZBrush, but it seems like a whole new beast. I'm used to polymodeling everything. ZBrush is hard to get into, but it's super fun to use. I mean, you'll see all the potential that you can unlock with polymodeling. That you can't unlock with polymodeling. It is, but it is like I understand it's super different beasts. As somebody who has taught people that come from Cinema 4D, like they're always flabbergasted, and I understand. Like I 100% understand why you would be. It's just different, you know, than what you're used to. If you ever sculpt yourself, I suppose it's challenging. I like sculpting myself. I did it one time when I was in college, around the time I got carpal tunnel. Always those two are always like interconnected memories for me. I sculpted myself. I used a mirror, and it was all fine and dandy. But then I wanted to apologize myself for the first time ever. They didn't teach us in college, so I had to learn it on my own. I got carpal tunnel because I didn't understand that the mesh didn't have to be perfectly smooth off the bat because there's something called like, you know, smoothing the normals. I didn't know, so I was trying to move each vertex perfectly until it was perfectly smooth looking, and then like it was around that time I had a new tablet too that wasn't working for me, like, and that was around the time that I had my first flare up with the carpal tunnel. Hi Odon, how you doing? I see this guy using Sketch in VR a lot. Is the industry headed that way? Seems odd creating in VR. It's not heading that way, but some people are. I mean, like, sketching in VR is just not that practical. I don't like being in VR for too long, and this is coming from a VR developer. Like, I've spent a ridiculous amount of time in VR, which is why I don't want to spend more time in VR. You know, like that I need to. I want to do it to work. I don't want to do it to make sculpts. I like this. I like this setup that we got here. Definitely not my best sculpt. Rip. Plastic college experience, you gotta learn on your own. I'm in a Facebook ZBrush group, and there's a sculptor that sculpted an owl creature that's almost identical to your creature. It's like you both from the same vibe. It might be somebody who was doing my challenge, because part of the challenge is to make the owl bear. And a lot of people have copied mine. What's happening here? What is that? Who is she? Okay, let's take a step back for a moment. What's going on? Not later. We Been a rough day of loss for me. Oh no, that doesn't sound good. Just trying to put my head in another space and focus on something else. Okay, we'll talk about something else. People sculpt entire things in ZBrush, then recreate polys on top of it to retopologize the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I do. Nice. Pleasant. There are automatic tools for that, yes. But none of it's as good as a human touch. So far, anyway. I'm sure AI will eventually do that for us. Sorry, I hope you're doing well considering the good vibes, Anna. I'm doing okay. Tired, but okay. Do you guys find DALL-E and Midjourney exciting or scary as professionals in the art field? I see the potential either way. Like, it could definitely be good, it could definitely be bad, you know. Kind of already seen some stuff, like I'm pretty sure one of my clients has been given like AI work to like sculpt, you know, and it looks really ambiguous. And I'm like, is that a leg? Is that an arm? I don't freaking know. What do you guys think about AI arts? Are you on excited? Are you not excited? Like, you know, I had a coworker that would talk to us about like how if we let computers like advance enough, we could all basically stop working and just, you know, live a life while being served by machines that did all the farming, did all the food service, maintenance, cleaning, everything. And I do believe that that will be the future. But I also believe that it's not, at least in a capitalistic country, it's not gonna play out that way. Like, it will replace jobs and everybody else will be maybe left destitute because nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, let's make the world a better place with this. They're gonna be like, let's make more money with this, you know? But there is such a thing as like a possible utopia of like letting AI become advanced enough to actually benefit us, you know? And then we would create out of the joy to create and not out of necessity. Jasper AI potentially replaces copyright. So I have something that's like Jasper AI. It's pretty good. I like it. I think it opens opportunities for making solo work easier, like making animation solo. AI can help you get ideas, but it'll never be a product. Not yet. I don't think the word never is wise. You need 5 headlines that showcase XYZ product and fund the sun. Spit out 50 potential headlines instantly, and a copywriter takes weeks. So how's income collected through selling your sculpts on Gumroad and ArtStation, etc.? You collect your PayPal, GPay, or other pay apps? Is there a limit to the amount of sales in a day? I don't think so. I don't know any of those details. Like, I feel like you could connect just about anything to those, like a normal store. And yeah, go from there. You can see I get some dope texture maps though, some cool alphas maybe. Maybe I should try. I have Midjourney, like I got into the beta. I haven't used my tokens yet. AI and automation takes over, they'll definitely need universal basic income. I'm so on board with automation of everything as long as we don't try to make our machines sentient. For an entrepreneur, I think AI is amazing. What's UBI? Oh, basic income. UBI will be necessary. In my opinion, it's inevitable. I don't know, like, it's like I'm okay with it. I'm open to a different future of opportunities, possibilities. Tired of working. So tired. Isn't there some drama I googled that there the AI is already sentient? Supposedly. So it's been said. I don't know if I buy it too much. It's a little too on the nose for me. I read the whole thing. One day I had time on my hands and I decided to spend it wisely. Oh, so I forgot to mention, tomorrow night I am doing a special workshop. I'm doing a special workshop about what you need to do to have a wonderful portfolio, no matter what job or industry you want to be in. We're going to teach you how to collect that data, how to plan, how many pieces you need, what kind of work you need, what quality to achieve, how to organize it. I polled the internet some weeks ago before I got sick, and I got like 30 different commonly asked questions that people don't know about for portfolios and that they're not sure about, and I put them into the presentation. So if you want to come to the presentation tomorrow night, or watch it after because it will be recorded, feel free to join my 3D sculpting workshop. The link is right there. It's the Gumroad. You click on that, and then you'll be taken to my Gumroad. And there's a little button there that says 3D Sculpting Workshop. 3D Sculpting Academy, Anna Carolinas 3D Sculpting Academy, live workshops, feedback, database access. So you can come join the workshop tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. This workshop has been a while in the making because every time I try to have it, I get sick or something. So tomorrow, definitely happening. So feel free to join. Feel free to join. And also with that, you get access to all my other education as well. And it's a package deal. Can't wait. The link is right there. AnnaCarolinaArt.gumroad.com. I'm really happy to be here and like chit chat with you guys. I'm really not in the mood to keep working on this. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's just not for me tonight. I'll do something else. I'm gonna be free. Just tonight. What do you guys think I should do? Like maybe let's do like a baby sculpt or something. Something else to change it up. What would be a good thing to do in 40 minutes? Anybody think of any? It's okay, chatting is good. Go the baby zombie, please. The baby zombie, little baby. Maybe something cuter. A kiwi bird, that's pretty cute. I could do a kiwi bird. No, let's do something D&D related. Something D&D related. What is a cute little baby creature in D&D? I really wish I could share my screen with you guys. Sorry about the new setup. It just ain't working with my usual things. D&D cutest creature. A fairy. A flump? What is that? Capybara. I could do a capybara. The flump is not that cute. Cutest monsters in the manual. The Almirage. Cute. I do have like a bunny base mesh that I could use. Let's do the Almirage. Little Bun Bun. These little guys, so I'm reading from a website. These little guys fit into that category of D&D monster, can be best described as, is this a monster or is it a regular animal in this magical world? They're unaligned, garden variety wild animals who live in Fey Wilds. They're easy to tame and make pets of, faithful and smart companions, and good for cute tricks. And they look like bunnies with unicorn horns. You really can't get cuter than Almirage. Let's do the Almirage. Just to clear the palette. Go ahead and start a new section. I think I already have a bunny that I can use. Let me go find it real fast. Bunny warrior. Where baby tap here is. I have so much random stuff in here. Easter bunny monster. Oh, yeah, that's from this year. I have so many things called bunny in here. Maybe I didn't say bunny. Maybe I'll make it and print it out tomorrow. There's this like TikTok sound that I've been wanting to use. It's such a Gen Z thing to say, I think. And so I've been wanting to like make a little something cute, because I wanted to use the sound. And it goes like, I would like to see the baby. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's it. Go ahead and real fast change the title of the stream. Half human, half horse. That's a centaur. Minotaur is half bull, specifically bullhead. Very different vibe. Reset all brushes. Get the ZBrush a second. Takes a while sometimes. A little bun, just to finish out the night. Something cute, something small. Doesn't look so much like a bunny yet. It looks like a generic furry. That was a really fast sculpt of a bun head. Perfect. I think I'm gonna make it like all cuddled up, like a little ball. Let's go ahead and append a sphere for the body. Oh, symmetry's off. When did you know you wanted to do 3D? I always wanted to do 2D, like concept art, creature design, things like that. And one day, and I was in college for game art and design, and I was forced to learn Max and like do stuff like kitchen stools, and it was like so not for me. I hated 3D arts, right? I said everybody was never gonna do 3D art. 3D arts, goes to me. Then one day I took a character sculpting class. It was a 4 hours long class. The first one. And I left that place going like, holy shit, like, I love it. Wow. And I was just like, that is for me. I love it. I want to do that forever. And I did. And that's the end of that story. It was literally my first encounter with ZBrush. And then I went home and I googled so much stuff about it, you know. I was just so excited. I just think it's gonna do that sometimes because you don't have local symmetry on. So I just turn local symmetry on for that. Let me fill up my Puref board for a second. Honey. Hi, Mike May Arts. How you doing? When is your trip to Brazil? Next week. Going to Brazil next week. I love Serious Mac when I got into it, making teapots and shit. ZBrush was the first program you got really into, like 3D wise, yes. I was into Photoshop and like painting before. Make me art. My problem is I want to do all art. I don't focus enough on one thing. That used to be my problem, but then I realized that it's not a real problem. And then the worry went away. It's not a real problem. Like, just do all the things you want to do. The doors will open even more if you do the thing that you want to do. Trust me. Being too generalized is not amazing one thing, but good at everything. She said she used to be like that or caught up professionally. Yeah, definitely. I'm doing good. Brazil's best country. The place I think it hurts me is my portfolio. It's all over the place. I know. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow in the special portfolio workshop. For sure. It's like I have retouching, production, layout, package art, and then 3D modeling and some lighting, photography. Yeah, you can't do that though. Like, you can't put all of that in the same portfolio. Just make multiple. Like, I have multiple portfolios. Just make it's literally not a big deal. One time I got a portfolio from a guy and he had a hodgepodge like that. He even had cosplay, and I was like, my god, like, what is this person doing? Nothing wrong with pursuing all of that stuff, but I definitely think just organize it. If you're applying for 3D art jobs, send only your 3D art. If you're applying for a photography job, send the photography. If you're applying for drawing, send the drawings, you know? That's my personal opinion. There's a saying, the man who chases one chicken catches one chicken, the man who chases two chickens catches no chickens. I am the second man. I mean, I do art for a living, but still. I don't know. I don't think that. Like, you know how everybody says, like, jack of all trades, master of none? Like, that saying is incomplete, and it's actually in favor of the generalist. Geoff 1291, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate the whole bunch. You gotta work smart on that chicken. All you need is one chicken, and then you can have endless eggs. Clicking all the buttons over here. Just want it to look like nice and cuddly and like super tiny and sweet. Head is like way too big though. The mirroring mode to the other side. Oh, local symmetry has to be off for that. I always forget. Perfect. I think we're done. Sorry about the bots. Sorry about the bots. Don't mind my bots. I tried fixing that today and I thought I nailed it. It turns out I did not nail it. I really like that you're positive about that you realized it wasn't a problem. I still definitely need to focus. That's still a given, but thanks for the input. Well, yeah. Like, I couldn't get over the fact that people were getting better faster than me because they were focusing and I wasn't. Right? But then a day came where after 5 years, it took 5 years. I don't know how long in your journey you are, but for me it took 5 years where a day came along and I realized, that problem I was thinking about all the time, I haven't thought about it in a while. And I realized that. And then I stopped to think about it more. And I realized that I really hadn't thought about it for a while and it wasn't really bothering me anymore. And I started wondering why, like why did I stop caring all of a sudden? And it's not that I stopped caring, it's that I became just good enough in all of the different aspects that it no longer mattered. And that's the end of the story. It no longer matters. I caught up just enough to become good enough. Like what would you say is the word for that? Good enough. Like, something with a C. Competent. Competent. Became competent enough in everything. Whatever. And then I had a wonderful career, full of stability and opportunities. Like I really liked the path I took, and it used to be my greatest insecurity, and now it's like my greatest treasure. I'm really glad I did the things I did. If you're applying for a 3D modeling job, don't send your chicken chasing videos. I had a manager at a job review literally tell me I was a jack of all trades but a master of none. It was like 15 years ago. Do you think it's wise to try making a feather with hair cards or don't? I personally use hair cards for feathers if it's for games especially. Are you sculpting bunny? Yeah. Well, specifically an Almirage, which is D&D bunny that has a unicorn horn. Seems like you found your focus though. No, I did not. So to you it might look that way, but do you have any idea what I do for my day job? Do you have any idea what pays the bills? Take a few guesses. Oh, I forgot the tail. Okay, we can fix that. Append a little ear. Go ahead and taper it mildly. Then not ZBrushing? No, I don't do ZBrushing for a living. That's why I stream it. Because I wanted to do this as well. And I wanted to take my destiny into my own hands. And I was like, what can I do? What can I do that lets me do this that I enjoy? I'm a technical artist by trade. Main tool is Unreal. I do gameplay programming. I do game design. VR developer. All of this has been in VR for most of my career. I'm a VR developer. I've made an entire game on my own for the Air Force. Coding, level design, environment art. A lot of the 3D models they provided. I still made a lot of 3D models. I even made procedural building for the hangar and things like that. I also did project management on that. And that was just the last project I was at before I started teaching. I have almost 20 shipped titles as a technical artist. Um, no title, only one or two titles actually as a character artist, and that's like stuff for like museums, you know, that I'm not even sure was ever released. I do it all, and that's why I'm telling you, like, you know, it's easy to look at me like sculpting away and think like, ah, this girl sculpts all day. Like, I don't. I use Unreal for more hours than I do ZBrush. Like, I just stream ZBrush because it's my passion. I like doing it. I teach it, you know, but I also teach everything else that I mentioned. You know, I teach it. It's wonderful. It's one of my many passions. Like, I can tell you guys my whole history, and I will. So the way that story that I was telling earlier continues is that I found my passion in 3D modeling characters, and I decided that that was going to be my career, right, in college. But then I graduated, and I was already super stressed, burnout, sick, all this stuff from how hard college was. And I was really, really struggling, and I only had 90 days to get a job or be deported because I was here on a student visa, and that's how it is. They don't let you get any jobs while you're in school, and then once you graduate, you have to get a job in 90 days. So it's like only a 90-day window. You can't even try earlier, okay? So it's a 90-day window to get a job. At the time, character art was known to be the most competitive job in the industry, one of the most competitive jobs in the industry. And I simply sat there in the middle of my difficult year, my difficult despair, and I go, I have two options. I can keep trying character arts. Well, by keep trying, I mean like, you know, I had been practicing, I hadn't even been applying. I said, I can keep doing character art and pushing this, and there's a good chance that I'm going to be deported after 90 days. Or I could do something that's more in demand right now. And then once I'm more established, I have money, because I didn't have any money. Like, I had a $8 an hour job, you know, for like a year during college, and that was it. And then like I wasn't even currently working that job, you know. Exactly how my current college students are. And so I did the research for like one day. I sat down and researched, and I found out that tech art jobs were nice and high paying, but also they were super in demand, and they were the most in demand job in the industry at the time. And I go and I Google, what does a tech artist need to know? Head exploding, because if you ever Google that, it's going to be 1,000 things. So I took a step back and I decided I'm going to learn Unreal, and I'm going to learn shaders, and that's it. So me and my friend, we bought some tutorials, like online course tutorial things for Unreal and shaders, and some Substance Designer, Unreal. And I would drive over to her house 3 times a week. It was an hour away, so I used to drive an hour to her house. We would sit in the living room and sit on the floor. Each one of us had our little laptop, and hers was connected to the HDMI on the TV, and we would play the tutorial and try to follow along and try to train ourselves to be technical artists. She's not a technical artist at Amazon. She recently got that job, and I was so happy for her. Anyway, within 6 weeks, somebody hit me up on Facebook, and they go, hey, I heard that you want to be a tech artist. And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, how much do you know? And I'm like, not a lot, but I'm learning. And they go, are you down to learn it on the job? And I'm like, boy, am I. You know? So I got the job without ever applying to a single job. Like, that's how in demand tech art was / is. Never applied, ever. Like, literally, it just came because, you know, that has a whole other story along with it as well. But so I start at this company. I was the first employee, and first developer. I got hired so early that we didn't even have source control yet. And what they did was they eased me into it, but not too much either. They had me do very difficult tasks right off the bat. When I started, I barely knew how to save in Unreal, for you to have an idea. And 2 days in, I broke the build completely, and we didn't have Perforce yet, so I didn't have any backups. So I got a flash drive and I snuck to somebody else's computer and like stole a build, an older one, before I broke it. Took it home on my little laptop. Had an all-nighter. This was like 2 or 3 days into this job. All-nighter trying to figure out what I did wrong, how to do it better next time. Like, can I fix this? Like, how am I gonna fix it? Like, just full anxiety, right? But it worked out. It worked itself out, and I was able to learn on the job. Eventually, like, not too long after, they hired this guy, Jonathan, who's like still one of my most beloved people ever. Like, I just really respect that guy. And he was a great Unreal developer. He was a straight up like engineer developer, and he would really help me by whenever I would have a really difficult technical problem that they would throw at me. Like, for example, example of a technical problem, they wanted for whenever you would get your hands close to an airplane in VR, they wanted the airplane to melt away in that area and have like an X-ray into the insides of the airplane. Something like that. He was already gone at this point, but that's just one example of a difficult problem that I wouldn't know exactly how to even start. So he would like say, he would listen to the problem. I'd be like, Jonathan, I have to do this and this and this. Like, this is the design. Like, I don't know how to start. And he would go, you should Google keyword. And I'd be like, writing it down. And then I would go and I would Google the keyword, and I would learn how to do the thing. And I would apply it and do like tests and things like that. And it would work. And I would be just like, oh my God. The Unreal forums were amazing. Tutorials were amazing. I learned how to be really fucking self-sufficient on the internet. And a big part of that is because I learned from my very crappy university experience that I had to teach myself. So already doing university, I had to teach myself everything a lot. And I was just learning how to be a tech artist more and more and more and more. There's a lot of aspects of the job that I applied, over time. Eventually I became the team lead, leading the entire team of artists. Eventually I started doing like on the side, like I didn't get paid for it, but still, project management, talking directly to the clients, putting all of this stuff together, managing everybody. And I did almost no ZBrush that whole time. The only time I ever did ZBrush at my job, that job, which was my main job for most of my career, the only time I did ZBrush was when I created a character creator. So like we had like NPCs and we wanted to customize the NPCs, so I created the system and the characters, but also the system that would choose their weights, gender, what clothes they were wearing, what skin color they were, hairstyle, and things like that. So like I both created the tech art system and the characters themselves. That's like the only time I ever did ZBrush in my career. I was so inspired by ZBrush though, and like character modeling, that I had to take things into my own hands a second time. And I had to decide, like, I don't want to quit this job because it's so good. I loved that job. Like, one day I'll tell the story of the downfall of that job, but I was like, how am I going to get ZBrushing in? I was on a work visa, which means no freelance, no side hustles, no nothing, okay? You can't make money on the side when you're on a work visa. So I was like, streaming. Streaming is the way to go. Because streaming, like, it's not a client. You don't have to make money. I didn't for a long time because I was unrestricted. Thank you for the gifted sub to Rin. So streaming became kind of like my opportunity to grow in this other thing that I was very inspired by. And little by little I was doing Unreal and tech art by the day and ZBrush and character art by night, always running two careers parallel to each other, teaching in one, executing in the other. I started streaming for ZBrush Live in 2017, right after I started streaming on my own channel. And things like that. So like it's really easy to assume, because you guys only see me doing this because it's all I post about, but it's because that's just online branding, people. Two meeples, thank you so much for the follow. Whenever I started in Carolina Arts, I decided to niche down into character art because otherwise it would be too split. And I have posted some tech art on Anna Carolina Arts before, Um, thank you, Aya Hirayama. Hirayama. Appreciate it. I did post some, and I wish I could show you guys my screen because I have, for example, some what is it? The cat generator I created, for example, that lets you create 80,000 different cats. Or it was before MetaHuman. I created my D&D character and I made her work with mocap on the iPhone so that her face was fully articulated. I made like dynamic normal maps that change depending on expression and things like that. Like, man, I missed tons of chat during this story. What graphic card and processor? So let's see, I can just do computer here in chat and you can see my specs. But I also have a 3090 Ti and I upgraded my 1080 Ti. Hi, Sculptastic. I'm actually curious what else you do because I never had the joy of being in your class despite being a wrangling alum. Oh wow, no way. Yeah, my brain is no good for tech art. I wish. That's a cool way to go. Technical art sounds good for generalists. My respect level for you just went through the roof. I'd like to hear more about what technical artist does. Are you compiling assets in Unreal? Is that the gist? No, there's 1,000 ways that you can be a technical artist. I like to say that two people can be a technical artist at the same studio in the same room and not have any overlapping skills. For me, it was optimization. So optimization is one of my main fortes. I can optimize anything, guys. Like I can optimize anything into any platform. I took PCVR made with 1080 Ti's and was able to get it running on the Quest before any Quest documentation came out. So like I can optimize anything. It's my favorite thing. It's so hard and I love it. You know. So optimization, shaders, procedural generation. This is just the stuff I do. Procedural generation is not my strongest yet. Documentation and like team, like process management. I do a lot of that. Some tech artists do rigging. Some tech artists do nothing but tool creation. I've created tools in the past. Have I ever created Maya tool? No, I don't like Maya tools. I've created a lot of Houdini things. I've done other things that aren't technically tech art, but I did it as a tech artist. For example, game programming and interactions, mechanics, and VR. I was just thinking about that with my wife. A guy on my team finished his degree and had to leave after 90 days because he didn't get sponsored by his agency to keep working. I know, it's so stressful. Like, I have bald spots to this day from the stress, so... Thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad you guys like the story. I'm so impressed you did this after college burnout. So, it was through college burnout. It wasn't after college. I'm still burned out. Like, ever since then, like I burned out so hard in college that since then I've been on a hairpin trigger for burnout. Like anything can burn me out. What are the best Unreal resources? The Unreal live streams, the Unreal official documentation, which did get re-updated recently, some of it, and it's nice. And also the forums, official forums. Max says, hi, I'm a big fan of your work. I came across the stream archive of your tertiary forms workshop. I was wondering if there was anywhere to find the videos that came before that one, secondary. Are you in the workshop? If so, you can have access to all of them. So I've done at least 4 workshops since March of last year, so imagine how many videos that is. So many tech jobs are knowing what to Google. I'll post a link to my mentorship and workshop in chat so that you can go get the rest of the videos. And also with that, I write a lot of articles and things like that. Like tomorrow I'm doing a special workshop live on how to build a good portfolio the smart way. So you don't want to miss that. It's so undervalued how much being honest about using Google when you're applying for a job. Yeah. You don't need to know everything all the time. The Whitman, like that is something right there. That is one of my, like, what is your like main weakness as a human being? That is my main weakness of miming, is that I am so unsatisfied with how little I know. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like I could be so much smarter, better, faster, knowing more things all the time. I just feel so I just feel so underwhelmed by how much I know all the time. And that's I wrote an article on imposter syndrome because I write articles on a bunch of random stuff. JS Strummer or J Strummer 77, thank you so much for the follow. That is a hallmark symptom of imposter syndrome, is overestimating how much other people know. Did you know that? So you just assume that other people know so much more than you, and then you get like insecure about how little you know. But when in reality you probably know the average amount. It's just that you don't know everything they know and they don't know everything you know. Anyway, I'm working through that one myself. As a digital generalist, what's the best job to enter into? Game development. I'd probably need to gear some portfolio work towards it. Best job to enter into game development? I can't answer that right now because that changes. Prop artist is a popular one. How does a technical artist with no titles showcase their stuff? Do they make small game demos? Small tech demos. When you optimize, are you doing textures, you're modeling everything, the slower the load? No. I mean, that's creating in an optimized way, but that's not how you optimize things necessarily, not in 2022, the year of our Lord. There are tools, there are like automated LODs, different things you can do, a million. I'm not going to get into all of them. Your eye tutorial is fantastic. I'll look more into the workshops. Thanks. I'm glad. My biggest challenge is discipline. I get overwhelmed real easy and then find reasons to get distracted. I feel like this is a problem as artists. We feel more than others because finance jobs seem so cut and dry. I have a feeling like people in finance jobs feel a lot too. They're just like not expressing it as much. Yes. Prep artists, that's just modeling small items like guns and grenades and like furniture pieces and stuff like that. Yeah, I think so. It's a popular one. Don't take my word for it. You gotta do that research. Gotta do that research. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and restart ZBrush. I need to restart it real fast. Because I'm having a couple of issues. So while we do that, I just... chit-chatting. One of my biggest challenges to break into gaming is that anything entry level pays way worse than my current career. Isn't that the problem? That is totally the case. Don't mind my ugly screen here. I'll be PRP, I guess. That is super common. Actually, it's like one of the main things with my mentorship that happens. Like, people ask all the time, like, am I too old to get into games? Am I too old to get into 3D art? I'm like, obviously not. It's not really an age thing. However, the only downside I've been able to establish so far is that most of these people have very established careers. They have a certain lifestyle. Maybe they get paid more than probably an entry-level job in the industry would be. Therefore, it's much harder to transition into. I had a mentee who, actually, after we had this conversation, he left the mentorship, and I'm not sure he'll ever be back. And we did the research together, and he was like, I need to make, I think the number was like 75K. He said, I need to make 75K a year minimum in order to maintain my wife and kids and lifestyle, because he worked in like oil and gas or something like that. Okay. And I need to do that 1 year from now in my first job in the industry. Otherwise I can't go into the industry. And so what we did was, without any judgment, without any assumptions, we looked it up. We found out what are the average entry-level jobs in the industry, right? As a character artist. And we found, okay, it is not impossible, but it's not likely that he would get paid that much right off the bat. It would take a couple of years to build up to that. which is very unfortunate, you know, all things considered. So he left after we discussed that. I wish he hadn't, because we came up with a plan. The plan was, let's do freelance for a few years while maintaining your current job, and then once you have like a ton of experience freelancing and more chops, you can just hop ahead and skip the entry level. But I understand. Bunny Love Llama, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Actually, I kind of want to have the eyes closed now that I think about it. Like, I want it to be just a cuddly little piece. But it looks really creepy. I'm not nailing that bunny shape. I think the face is just horrendous. It needs to be like more prey animal, less predator vibes. I would feel like my imposter syndrome manifests in thinking that the company will realize they got screwed in hiring me and they will figure it out and fire me. That is exactly imposter syndrome, actually. It's not even a special manifestation, it's the normal manifestation. Yeah. I have an article on that with like a bunch of strategies you can employ to get over it, but like all that changes is your own mind, because like it's a perception thing. You're just overestimating how good you have to be. Just trust the people that hired you. You know, like they're not dumb, right? Would you say that they're dumb? They hired you for a reason. It wasn't a fluke. And if they wanted to fire you, they already would have probably. So. Probably up. But also, like, one of the steps I wrote in my article about imposter syndrome and getting over it was actually like write down everything that you think you're not good at, things that are causing you stress, and actually go out and improve those things. Like, that could also help take a little bit of stress off of your shoulders. It's like straight up just addressing the problems, you know? The quickest way to get a job in film 2 years ago was CFX take out an animation and games VFX artist. I'm curious seeing what's popular these days. I think VFX and UI is the most popular right now. I've been trying to make a game on my free time with no game developer experience, and it has nothing to do with me. Very successful day job. My very successful day job. So then about the imposter syndrome. It's reasonable. I would need a portfolio before he even thinks of freelancing, though. I mean, yeah, he was building a portfolio. I wonder how many people quit at the portfolio phase. As far as I know, a lot. Or, like, never make it out of the portfolio phase. It's very sad. But it happens. And sometimes the quitting is only temporary, right? Can't, like, they learn everything but can't put together a banger. I feel like there's a lot of good artists that quit because they don't have the discipline to create a grand portfolio, but if someone were given them a job, they would work hard. Hey Dwight! Made it! Welcome! Eu tô ouvindo a história, acho que o cara tinha que persistir mais, não querer já começar na janela, como a gente diz. Começa na janela, explica esse ditado pra mim, porque eu não sei bem. Zero mesh stuff. Everything needs to be zero meshed. Oh no, there's no way. The zero mesh button has run away. Everybody look for the zero mesh button. Little imposter syndrome can be good to keep motivation, but imposter syndrome is a drag when competing against people who are confident. They don't have to be as good without imposter syndrome holding them back. Imposter syndrome is sabotage. Self-sabotage. Pure and simple. Like it or not. Use it or not. You can strive to be better without absolutely punishing yourself day in and day out over things. That mental strife, mental suffering that you impose on yourself if you have imposter syndrome, which almost everybody does at some point, that is bad, not good. It's very different than just improving because you want to. There's a reason we do our best work when we don't care what other people think, you know? Oh, we forgot the little horn. Little unicorn horn. Let's throw one on there. And I'm thirsty. I'm gonna pause the stream in a second to go grab a little drink. Maybe some rice cakes. I'm feeling extra fancy. Oh, baby. Inspired by this baby. Nice hair, looks rocking. Thanks. It feels like straw. My hairs was destroyed earlier this summer. Like, I paid $300 and I've never been sadder with my hair. My poor baby. I keep getting ads for UX boot camps. Do you think that's a good way into tech from food service? I've been working as pastry chef for a while now, and I need a change of pace and to get off my feet. Yes, I think so. I really do. So we at the college had Microsoft come by to do some presentations, and they said, please tell people to learn UI UX because we can't find them. So that's Microsoft's words, not mine. But yes, that is a very in-demand job right now. VFX is in demand. Tech art probably forever will be in demand. And UX pays well, especially if you go into tech. Probably gonna out-earn us all. The head's still too big. Foi errado, seria começar sentando na janela, no melhor lugar, fala muito por aqui no Rio. Pelo menos quando a pessoa nova no local já quer chegar mandando, exigindo, tipo, esse cara que quer iniciar a carreira pra gente, you know? You remember the story? It's a little unicorn horn. I've been battling it pretty hard recently too, but I think I've gotten over it by focusing on having fun rather than being good. A good way to go is to focus on how you're providing value more so than being good, you know? I forgot to update you. You got the Giovanni A. Oh my god, everybody, round of applause in chat for Giovanni. Congrats. Congrats. How do you like it? Did you already start? Tell us everything. Tell us everything. You're streaming for how much longer? Well, I was supposed to have finished 6 minutes ago, but I just started the bunny, so maybe another hour. That's really good to know, thanks. I would like to go down a more art-focused area at some point, but UX seems like a good way into the industry in general, yeah. It is. Alright, 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a drink, but before, let me remind you that we are in the middle of a challenge. Oh, you guys can't see this. 1 second. Let me get out of studio mode. We are in the middle of a challenge giveaway. If you didn't know, you should know because we're giving away some pretty badass things. First prize, a Sonic Mini 4K resin printer, 3 bottles of resin from our sponsor, Frozen 3D. Second place, a 1-month free mentorship with me. I get good results, okay? So don't skip on it. And third place is a month of workshops. So to participate, you're going to sculpt 3 little D&D minis. The Owlbear, the Grick, and a Demogorgon, not the Stranger Things one. And then you're going to stage them all together as if they were on a D&D board and take a picture, render, animation, whatever you want. I never updated the video. So the first theme was the Owlbear. Second theme, Grick. Third theme, Demogorgon. This is due on the 20th of July, so next Wednesday, and the winners will be announced on the 22nd, next Friday, here on my stream. Alright, can't wait to see what you guys make. Some people have already been submitting stuff, and it's been amazing so far. Você viu a galera denunciando a Marvel? É um negócio tenso na indústria. Okay, guys, I will come right back, okay? Wait for me, I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes. I'm just gonna get another drink and then hydrate. I think that's the path. I am back. Okay, How do I enter to win the printer? I can't seem to find info about it. Join our Discord. The rules are on there, or watch long enough for the next displaying of the rules. But basically, it's an art challenge, and it's due next Wednesday. Would you ever be a part of Love, Death, and Robots? Death, Love, Robots? I've never seen it before, but probably. Like, I'm not turning too much. Actually, I have been turning a lot of stuff down lately. It's awesome. The people are cool and it feels chill. Like, so far it feels like a nice environment, so I'm happy so far. It's been 3 weeks though. 3 weeks is enough to know if you like it or not, I think. Yeah. Everybody join my Discord. Not only do you get to find out the rules for the 3D giveaway, the 3D printer giveaway, but also, on top of it, you get to participate in our future challenges, because we do a lot of them, okay? You get to participate in networking things and games. Okay, I haven't done games in forever. Never mind. Scratch the games. You can show off your artwork, get feedback, give feedback on people's artwork, share tips, tricks, tutorials, resources, and just generally network. People ask me all the time, like my mentees, they ask me, Anna, I live in this obscure town. I can't network. And I'm like, dude, there's 1,000 Discord communities out there, and you're already part of the best one. I really like my Discord community though. Our Panda Pro, thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. The reason I like my community is because, like, I've managed to build a very lovely culture, and like, it's one of the things I'm literally the most proud of that I've been able to do online. Literally, like, it's positive. We have low tolerance for, bullies, or no tolerance for bullies. I have a zero tolerance policy. Like, that's one of the wonderful things. Like, I don't worry about numbers. Like, somebody comes here on my stream or on my Discord and even says something slightly shady, like they're not gonna get to stay, And that creates a safe space for the people who want to learn, progress, and support each other. Sparkles looks grumpy. He always looks grumpy. He's got resting bee face. I remember when Anna used to carry me in Fortnite and gave me the thumbs. I've only made it one time to the top 10 of Fortnite, and it was one time I was hidden inside of a bush, and I made it second place until the space became so tight that the person was like, they gotta be that bush, and so they shot me. That was many years ago. Well, not that many, like 4 years ago. Okay, more bunny stuffs. I did the same thing back then. I just name a game that you are just terrible at. Fortnite. Literally, like, one thing you guys gotta know about me is that while I do enjoy the occasional game playing, I am literally so averse to anything that requires me shooting a gun in a game. For no reason other than just I'm so bad at that. And also I like to keep my mouse as like top sensitivity, so everything I do has like a wobble to it. I can't shoot for shit, basically. So already Fortnite is a no-go for me. Also, it's just not fun. I just don't like the aesthetics of like military stuff, guns, stuff like that. Like, I just don't like it. The only like more like the only game that has guns that I like is like Sea of Thieves. So it's like fantasy. I might give it a chance, unless guns is the main mechanic. I think it's just guns can't be the main mechanic for a game for me. I think the ears need to be cuter. They need to like come in and like forward, More cuddly. Like the keyword is cuddly for this thing. But as you can tell, I'm a little confused by what rabbits look like. So, rabbits, what do they even? I just don't have the reference yet. Bunny bunch up. I went back recently to Fortnite with the no build mode. I dig it, but League will always have an iron grip on me. Lately, I play nothing but Dead by Daylight. I like that game very much. Favorite? I only ever make killer bunnies. I'm just like starting to notice that. I'm like, man, this has none of the attributes of killer bunnies that I'm normally sculpting. Bunnies with huge teeth. That's. You see the one they posted for Easter this year? I just played a game that I'm sure you would love. The name is Tunic. It mixes cuteness with old Zelda-like gameplay. Oh, yeah, I could like that. I've known to enjoy some Zelda gameplay here and there. I'm still on my special diet, and I could like murder a donut just at any time. Just not even right now, like just at any time. Like donuts are lucky that I'm on a special diet. Aspire Lemon Play down. I think I'm just gonna like play or dynamesh the whole body together and just like call it a little thing. What do you guys think? Give in to my impulses. Merge down. And just dynamesh this whole thing. Way too high. This is just supposed to be a little sketch that I might 3D print tonight, so we're not going for anything too fancy or anything. And like sketch in little toes for this little guy. This is like the loosest I've ever done things, so we're gonna see if I can pull it off. Yeah, did you guys see the Marvel news? Somebody's asking in Portuguese, but I figured I would talk about it with the whole group. Did you guys see that like a lot of people just really hate doing VFX for Marvel? That they have like the worst pipelines ever because it's like too demanding and too fast. I totally believe that. The VFX and the games industries both need like a massive overhaul, like for like workers' rights and things like that. If you ask me, things ain't looking so good. Yeah, but feel like nothing's truly unique. What do you mean? Like the problems are not unique, or like the Marvel movies aren't unique? Marvel? Well, that doesn't really matter. Like, unique or not, you need to treat your workers properly, right? Gonna throw a little H polish down. Oh my god, the bottom is kind of cute though. Like, let's be honest. Might not be nailing the sculpture yet, but the bottom is 10 out of 10, I think. I'm gonna even screenshot it as an inspiration for myself. Make the nose smaller. How about a cute little nose? Maybe pinch would be good. What a weird song. Yeah, I don't know. I just really wish people would. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it. I just wish things were better. Just generally speaking, there are a lot of things that aren't bad. I'm gonna make this whole part a little smaller. One's kind of do. What's that button? I just want it to be pudgy. That is my only goal for this piece. Pudgy and small. Well, it's my first transmission ever and talented John Rio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Legal, o bichinho tem expressão e esse era o objetivo. Let's give the eyes make them less flat. Breaking a lot of my own rules while doing this, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Oh. Something took over the what do you call it? The mouse and scared me. Don't mind my bots, guys. I still haven't been able to fix them properly. De biscoito de chocolate. Seria muito bom. Let's do the ears next. Let's Google. Oh, I have a fader share actually here. I'm gonna solo this out for a second. Oh, I can't. Yes, I remember. I have a new monitor today, and I'm struggling to get adjusted. And I can't quite solo. Maybe under render, there's like solo in here. I just don't know where it would be. Maybe it's under trans. Yeah, I don't know where to find the original solo button. Let's go. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Welcome, welcome to the stream. In that case, we're just gonna literally raise it. Nobody has to know. Let's make sure to turn on auto masking. Auto masking back face mask. I'm gonna kind of inflate the sides a little bit to make it cuter. I don't know se minha presença em português ou inglês. Você que sabe. A maioria das pessoas aqui falam em inglês. Então a conversa rola mais em inglês. Mas pode ser em português também. Excelente. Little baby. You speak Spanish? I do not, unfortunately. I can read Spanish. A little bit. Yay! We got some fleshed out ears to some degree. Entendo inglês, mas falo português, já que ela sabe que é mais fácil. Starting to feel like I want a snack now. 10 p.m. 10:30. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm listening a little English Portuguese, don't understand anything. Acho que tudo bem, procrastinando e tentando ser produtivo ao mesmo tempo. Põe um biscoito daquele igual da última live. Pena que não tem nenhum aqui. É. I think I made a mistake by joining the body together. Here's Seth's current brush. I have to decide how I'm gonna want the fur to look in the final. I'm gonna go ahead and go to stroke or plugin. Scale master. Oh, wrong. Unify because my move brush is too small, and sometimes I like to make the whole thing smaller. And try to see if a smaller body is cuter. What do you guys think? Littler body? I think so, right? Give him a base. Go ahead and append a cylinder in. He's very clearly going through the base too much. I think like that. Thinner at the front, wider in the back is the way to go. What do you guys think? Let me mask the tail. And kind of like bring the little tail in closer. Let's make that a separate subtool or subgroup so that's, if necessary, I can remask it out without losing anything. Yay. A certain cuteness to it, I'd say. Little baby boy or girl. Go ahead and make the horn proper way. I'm gonna undo that and kind of put it back in its position like this. Maybe kind of turn on symmetry, but not just any symmetry. We're going to turn on radial symmetry. The Y. And we're going to kind of start creating that little bit of spiral effect. Skill up the division for sure. No, it needs to be more horizontal. Let's undo that. And then maybe less count. So maybe 6 instead of 8. Maybe 5. Now let's clean that up. Now I can place it again. Let's see. It looks good. We got some progress. Little bunny. I think we're going to continue this one at the end of next stream. So I'm going to stream again on Sunday, and we will do that next Sunday. By the way, if you guys want to, make sure to follow me on social media. The links are already in chat multiple times, in fact. Best way to get a hold of me, ask me questions, keep up to date with my latest artwork, my latest schedule announcements, free stuff like that. Join the Discord server. It's an awesome place where there's a bunch of 3D artists hang out offline, share tips, tricks, tutorials, resources, things like that. And then make sure to check out my mentorships page if you want to sign up for the waiting list for future mentorships when they open up, or you want to come to the workshop. The workshops I do, I teach a workshop like how to sculpt every Wednesday. Also tomorrow we're doing a special workshop on Saturday. So tomorrow we're doing a special workshop on how to have a great portfolio, how to build a great portfolio no matter what you're trying to do. So make sure you join that through the Gumroad. Vi uma parte da sua participação na live da Vicky sobre mentoria, ou foram cursos, não lembro, em português. Ainda não tem previsão para português, mas tem muita intenção de fazer. Alrighty, everybody. I will see you all on the next stream. How does that sound? Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciated everybody's participation. Bye bye. The Kraken is the most legendary and colossal cryptid on Earth. It has been described as a vast pulpy mass, furlongs in length, that drags down entire ships and their crews with its massive tentacles. If the ocean water around you ever gets inky black all of a sudden, run as fast as you can. For many years, I had done really basic looking renders of my characters, and the internet was starting to notice. One day, I met some Maxon folks and told them about my problems. We came up with an idea. What if we took a simple character model and made it epic? Not only did we do that, but we also turned it into a month-long training series spanning multiple software packages including ZBrush, Cinema 4D, Redshift, and After Effects. Together, we took this and turned it into this. No more ugly renders. For many years, I had done really basic looking renders of my characters, and the internet was starting to notice. One day, I met some Maxon folks and told them about my problems. We came up with an idea. What if we took a simple character model and made it epic? Not only did we do that, but we also turned it into a month-long training series spanning multiple software packages including ZBrush, Cinema 4D, Redshift, and After Effects. Together, we took this and turned it into this. No more ugly renders. For many years, I had done really basic looking renders of my characters, and the internet was starting to notice. One day, I met some Maxon folks and told them about my problems. We came up with an idea. What if we took a simple character model and made it epic? Not only did we do that, but we also turned it into a month-long training series spanning multiple software packages including ZBrush, Cinema 4D, Redshift, and After Effects. Together, we took this and turned it into this. No more ugly. Epic. Not only did we do with an idea, what if we took a simple character model and made it epic? Not only did we do that, but we also turned it into a month-long training series spanning multiple software packages including ZBrush, Cinema 4D, Redshift, and After Effects. Together, we took this and turned it into this. No more ugly renders. For many years, I had done really basic